Hello, and welcome to Game & Chats, the podcast where we invite members of the gaming community and industry to join us to play some of their favourite multiplayer games whilst telling us about themselves and why they enjoy these games so much. For today's episode, I am joined by a good friend of my Nintendo 64 and is a member of the Nintendo 64 family. It is Jmac!
Hello, everyone.
Hello, buddy. It has been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute. I mean, I used to write for the site like 5 years ago, I think. Maybe before,
Yes.
like in 2019, I used to write for Nintendo, and it was honestly the best experience I've had writing for a games website.
Oh, thank you. This is not to promote us. This is all about you today, mate. But we will be talking about your experience.
I can say that I had a great time. Like, listen, I was, ever since I left, I've become a huge fan. I still stay a fan, so I can also say, hey, you guys also were awesome.
Oh, thank you, bud. Thank you. I mean, it was a pleasure and a privilege having you write for us as well. And obviously, as we all get older and, other priorities get in the way and stuff like that, we have to go off and do other things and whatnot. But you have written for a number of websites as well, not just us. So we will talk about your origins in video game journalism. So to start off, we are playing Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, or Xenoblade Chronicles Cross for those who pronounce it differently in different regions. I've already started up a mission, Jmac. If you'd like to come and join me, you should be able to find missions now.
All right, so I'm at the mission terminal. Let's see, join online mission. Let's see, do I join? Where do I go? Is that the network console?
Yes. So if you go into the Blade Barracks and you go to the network console, which is right at the end.
Yep.
Yep. And then it will give you options to either join a mission or, accept a mission.
Yep. I go to join a mission. I can't see. Let's see. Is it accept a mission or is it join a mission? Because when I do join an online mission, I can't.
Join.
There's no. Oh yeah, there's nothing that's showing. It's not working.
Are you connected online? That's the first thing.
Yes, I am connected online.
Okay, check mission details.
Hold up. Make sure I'm fully connected.
Oh, I know what I may need to do. Hold on. Right. Okay. I've got an idea. Let me abandon the mission. I think what I've got to do is I've got to start up a squad. We've got to do a squad first, perhaps.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so like a private squad. Right. So if I go to online, change squad, create a private squad. Yes. Right, so I shall give you the code. It is V0YHXT.
And there we go.
Okay, right. So hopefully we should be able to see you
I see you
now,
guys.
or at least if you're in the squad, well then I can go to the network console perhaps, and then if I go accept, and it is they've changed the mission now, so we've got the wrong target now. It's the only mission we can do, so I'm going to accept and recruit, and then if you go to the
Yep,
okay,
I'm joining.
Yay! Finally,
there we go.
Awkward. So
we all know how Nintendo online services are.
Yes. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the yellow gate, embark on a mission, and then we can now play some games and talk about your beginnings into video game journalism.
Oh, that's going to be a trip down memory lane if my memory is working fine. Yeah. So I started. It was right around 2017, and there was this console that was coming out called the Switch back then. I don't know if you guys remember it. And it was a really awesome time for almost everyone. And I was just a young person just on Twitter, and I was like, I saw this site called Shigeru News, and I was like, I'll write articles. So I met with the owner, and just like that, just for some random reason, I said, hey, why not do press? And so I started with a cool site called Shigeru News, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was a great it's a great first experience into journalism. I learned a lot. Some of my good friends I met there, including Ali. I think some Devin and also Sergio, who's probably been on the podcast. I imagine. I've met on that site, so I go way back with some of those people. It's been nearly 8 years. If time flies, just saying that.
Does fly,
But
mate.
it's been nearly 10 year, nearly 8 years since I did press, and it was great. And as that site closed, I kind of became familiar with my Nintendo 64. And yeah, I decided that sure, let's do it. And that's when I joined the site. I think I wrote for like 2 years, I think, and then COVID
Yep.
hit. I started university. I started my bachelor's degree, and so yeah, that was the point when I was doing a lot, and then I kind of stopped a little bit after that. I wrote for Two Beard Gaming for a while, and then
Yep.
I quit press because I just had no more time, honestly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
So,
that was
yeah,
yeah, that
go
was
on.
in 2020 when 2020 I stopped.
And since you have been very, very busy, so what was you studying? At, like
I
university,
was
was it?
Yeah, I was studying ecology, just scientific ecology.
Hmm.
I was getting my bachelor's in that, which I got. It took me a while, but I eventually, I like to say that I eventually got there. Especially with the challenges of COVID and remote learning, which was really not easy at times. And yeah, it took me a little time, but I've been busy. I've since then I've been really busy with I've become I wouldn't say an activist, but I've become involved with student unions to better promote people with handicaps, and that's taken me a ton of time. Yeah, that's been kind of my side thing. Student unions and helping out people with handicaps better be integrated in our universities.
Yes. And for now, what current projects have you got on? What are you hoping to, put your ecology to good use?
So right now I'm in my graduate school. So if going for a master's degree and also in ecology, surprise. Doing that. My right now I'm doing an internship at a research lab. Probably as most people know, forests are really important to us. Forests are one of the lungs of the earth, and they absorb so much carbon from the atmosphere. And as the planet climate changes, we've we're trying to see the impact of some invasive species, that come from Portugal and Spain. Actually, funny enough, they come
Okay.
from Spain, and we're trying to see what the impact of that invasive plant, because that plant, replaces some of the forest trees. We're trying to see what its impact is on soil absorption. So, should we worry about that plant? Should we let it be? Is it maybe helping? Even some invasive species are not bad. Is it maybe helping the carbon absorption? So yeah, that's what I've been kind of been doing as my internship for throughout the year.
I'm sure some people can see the irony in somebody who has been, studying ecology and, obviously, like preservation for, animal species and, obviously invasive species. While we are playing a game where we have essentially been shipwrecked on an alien planet and we are eradicating the natural species or the endemic
Listen,
species.
listen, it's survival of the fittest, and when it comes to survival, like you gotta do what you gotta do. And in the game, which was really surprising, I didn't know that when I played it back then, is that the game actually promotes. Oh, I'm stunned.
Yeah.
They have like I thought my game lagged. The game actually promotes that. It talks about like there's some side quests that talk about we shouldn't kill that species. I think there's a side quest which was awesome, where there's like a mother and her babies, and the game asks you, do you have a choice to kill the babies species because they're not doing that much. Oh, I'm dead. I got destroyed. I'll
Yeah.
respawn.
I think I might be joining you in a moment. Hold on.
This is a tough one. The game asked like, hey, you can kill or not, and there's like a bunch of environmental stuff here, and it really makes you think about the impact on humans. Like it's like the contrast, survival of the fittest, you have to survive, but there's also making you think like, hey, you shouldn't just go kill stuff in a game. So it was really surprising to come back to it and see that environmental message in it.
I think I know the one you mean. It's the one with like the little piglet things in it, the squids. And it's like, oh, these are juveniles. I know they're quite close to the base, but should we or just leave them be?
Yep, exactly. And it was like I was like, oh wow. Go. Maybe I should. So of course I didn't kill him, but it's a fun side quest. I won't spoil, but it's the side quest is not over.
No.
So I would highly recommend doing that side quest and not being spoiled and just doing what you think is right. It's kind of like Metroid: kill the animals or save the animals, in a sense.
So what brought you into the Xenoblade Chronicles games then? What was your first?
You know what's funny? It was actually Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I was young. I was like 14 years old, and I saw a Meg game, and I was like I don't know why. I was like probably because the Wii U didn't have that many games at that time. 2015 was kind of a dry year for the Wii U, and for some reason I was like, hey,
Yes.
this looks cool. Like this game looks cool. So I got it for Christmas, and I played a lot of it. I finished it actually, and yeah, that's how I got introduced to Xenoblade. And it's funny because I started with the spin-off, and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
there's actually story games, and it's like, oh, and so I've played them all, and I played all the DLC, and yeah, it's become one of my favorite series. I'm just hey, this looks cool.
I mean, it is a huge and a very ambitious game, especially at the time for like the Wii, because obviously it released on the Wii, didn't it? No,
Wii U,
Wii U, Wii U. Sorry, Wii U.
the
Xenoblade
add-on to the Wii.
Chronicles released on the Wii, but the add-on to the Wii, the peripheral.
Yeah.
I've accepted another mission, so if you want to jump in and join,
Yep.
mate, at any time. And then
Yeah.
obviously we got Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, and I did play it, and I think I only got up to like chapter 5 on the Wii U, because then
Oh.
eventually I got into it late. So I think I picked it up around about 2017, and of course Zelda was coming out then.
Yeah. Zelda. I
So
mean,
then, like,
Zelda, of course, is.
of course, so I got into Breath of the Wild, and then like years went by, and then I stopped playing Xenoblade Chronicles X, and then got into Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it's like, oh, this is actually very, very fun. I enjoy this. I really should play the other
Yeah.
one again.
Like, hey, this is actually fun. Like, this is actually like impressive. I cannot believe this is a Wii U game. And Digital Foundry did a video recently, just like yesterday,
Mm.
about the definitive edition. And it's crazy how like this is. I mean, it looks better. It's better shading, but it's still the same Wii U version as it was back then. Like, how does this run on Wii U? And they showed this comparison with Halo Infinite, and it's like miles better. It's like Halo Infinite's on the new gen console, right? And not to hit on Halo Infinite because it's actually it's still a commendable game. It's like how does like Wii U game look better than gen new current gen game?
It's
So
all down to the team, isn't it? I mean, Monolith Soft, I mean, they've been developing these kind of games for
th-
decades now,
they're
and they
wizards.
know. Oh, they are. They are. And like another thing that sorry, I missed on the prompt there. Another thing is like they've managed to optimize this game so much, because like on the Wii U it was like 23 gigabytes, and like the Switch it's
Yeah.
13. It's like,
That's
Wow.
crazy. You remember how the Wii U had like a patch for performance and loading times,
Yeah.
which you can't access anymore because of the eShop being down. Funny enough. But yeah, it was crazy back then, and even right now, it's like, and also, Digital Foundry. I think it's a really cool video because it talks about how the use of fog and perspective is what really sells this game. It's like the art direction, and just like there's a bunch of forced perspective in this game. There's a bunch of fog to use to hide like bad details, and they kind of like sacrifice physics. Like how you walk through the grass, it doesn't move. Like any current gen games, but they kind of made small
Yeah.
concessions to actually get this to just be impressive. And talking about the car, the cars in this game, you go through them. It's like but it's
Yeah.
really cool how they use perspective in this game. It's really interesting. When you go to Disneyland, if you've been there, the use of perspective, it's kind of the same kind of deal where they want you to look at something and they want you to think like this place. They kind of get your attention focused on one thing, so they hide the rest. And this game does that too. So it's really cool, and I'm not surprised because they designed, the open world of Breath of the Wild, and that also uses perspective techniques. So these guys are wizards at making an open world game, not even just performance wise, but just also how you craft it, in my opinion. And it's when you launch an Xenoblade games, some people say Xenoblade, I say Xeno because there's an X, and but it's
Yeah.
always just so interesting the way they kind of craft these open worlds. And I play these games because you cutscene, and then now you're like in this big world. There's stuff everywhere. You're looking at these huge structures, and it's always just so impressive. I'm like, yep, this is the good stuff.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. And like you said, I mean, like the fog effect has been in games for decades. I mean, especially like the Nintendo
Yeah,
64 and like games like Turok, and they were infamous for the fog, and mainly because it gives the game a chance to render what's around the corner.
to breathe.
And so yeah, exactly, yeah. So it doesn't have to render everything all at once and slow down the console. And I can understand them doing it with like big games like this, but you almost don't notice it now, and
No,
it
it's
just
like the
feels
fog is like a part of
seamless.
the world. It's like, oh yeah, there's fog. Of course, there's fog. It's there's a dew point. You're up high. Of course, there's fog. It's far away. It's unlike like Silent Hill, where it's like the whole game is fog.
Yeah.
Like how you see like
But
this
then they
cliff
do it
up
very
there.
well with like if you're in wooded areas, like for like now we're like in between like rocks
Like
and things like that,
Tillum.
so you can't see the world around you. But the attention
Yeah.
to detail that we have here with the creatures and things like that, and you think that's all you really need in a game. It hasn't got to be
No,
super duper fancy. It hasn't got to be
no.
8K and running at 60 frames per second stable. I mean, if it could do 60 seconds, that's absolutely brilliant. But a
Well,
lot of the times, like with
wink,
some games,
wink,
30.
wink,
Yeah,
wink. Switch to patch. That's been wink, wink. There's a 60 FPS mode in this game, which if you go on my Nintendo 64, you'll see the article. I'm sure. Highly
yeah,
recommend it. But there is also a hidden 60 FPS mode that will probably be activated. So when you get your Switch 2 on launch, you'll be able to play some 60 FPS Xenoblade X. What's not to love?
yeah. I mean, this game, I mean, the beauty of, like having online multiplayer is being able to experience a Xenoblade game with your friends as well. So, like, doing these little missions, it does remind me a lot like a lot of like Monster Hunter, these kind of
Yeah,
missions, like working together to like topple certain enemies and things like that. But
uh,
it gives it
hot
that
take.
Xenoblade feel.
Exactly, and I love the enemy design. Like Monster Hunter, really good franchise. Not for me, but a really great franchise. But I just love how, like, I study. Not to be nice, say I'm an expert, but I study biology. I just love how they're designed, and I love how like the variety. Like there's different kind of creatures you hear. Like here, this is like some stag, some like big bad like dragon type thing, and it looks great. And it's like and in this game, what's awesome is that there's biologists. I love it. I love how there's like actual scientists are like studying the fauna and the flora, and I just find that great. And that's of course that's why I chose the creators. I was like, oh yeah, I'm class creators, and it's fun. It's like actually, it feels like, hey, like you're trying on this planet, and like, oh yeah, of course there's gonna be scientists. Of course, like I
And
would
then
be the
you've got
first one,
like
like,
the odd
oh
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, your
yeah. I mean,
prospectors, and you have the arms manufacturers who want to make money. It's like, yeah, this is realistic, guys.
I mean, if
Like you
this
go
was,
to
you know,
when
like, yeah, go on,
yeah,
go
you're
on.
saying
I said, like, I mean, you were saying this is quite realistic, and like, actually, it's not far off. Yeah, pretty much. Because if we was to go to, it doesn't even have to be another planet. If we was like to be stuck in a random country somewhere that's been inhabited by
yeah,
people, and you'd have to make do with what you've got there. And it's like, okay, well, then you're gonna have to
exactly.
set certain roles for people. People as a society, we're gonna misbehave. So you're gonna need to have people that are gonna work like a police force to, make sure everybody sort of behaves themselves. Then you need like your pathfinders and your prospectors to go around looking for materials and making sure the habitat or the
Yeah,
region that we're in is going to be safe
exactly.
for us.
We did the same with Antarctica. There's like scientist groups. There's like there's a bunch of people that went to Antarctica. Now it's mostly scientists, but back then, it was like even Darwin. You go back to the days of Darwin when he was exploring. There was there was him. There's a whole bunch of scientists. There's some people that were there for materials. You look at like first of not a great example, but Christopher Columbus, his first voyage, he had everything. He had scientists, he had physicians, he had a whole bunch of things, and it didn't end well. But it's still when humans used to discover our own continents, we did the same thing. And so it's really funny to see like, hey, like you know exactly everyone has a role. Everyone's some people are scientists and. Um, some people are more military, and some people are better just, building. Some people are better serving pizzas to the man on.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Very much
They've
so.
understood the men are right, This is they know good food when they know it, when they see it.
Oh yes.
If if
And I was saying
if I
about what's
discard
not.
pizza, if I discard pizza, I'd be like them, like, oh wow, what is it? What is this? This is so good. Give me more.
Stream Edge!
Now we're talking.
Oh,
Get
why
them
am I putting my weapon
No.
away? I've just stopped fighting. Stop.
Here we
Get back
go.
to fighting, you.
Melee attack.
Yeah. All right.
Put some
That's
power
just
into this.
this is the short, and it does run great in portable mode. I have to say that I've been
Put some
like just say
power
like
into
this is Xenoblade X, and it's like portable. It looks great too.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the better of the games in portable mode. I think to me it's the most impressive
enemy down.
out of all
Enemy
4 games.
killing.
Um,
Oh yeah. I mean, two is where it really started. I mean, it was the first game on Nintendo Switch, and then it really
yeah,
got me back into the series. Then obviously the definitive edition came along. Then three came out, and then that sort of like brought the three games
Upper hand.
together.
Good position.
it's the full
But
the full trilogy, and then there's that spin-off.
This one's gonna
there's
smile.
that spinner, which
Stream
is
Edge!
just as good
They're
on its
weakening.
own. And if not,
Yeah,
I mean, like with the multiplayer aspect as well, that you can, play with four friends like we are now. Now, unfortunately,
exactly.
because of
On
our
stable
level,
Nintendo servers.
Good. Now
yeah,
get in there.
incredible. Who
So,
would have thought
and
Shadow
back then
Fly.
people were mad at this game. It was like a reviewable, but people were mad because we only had Xenoblade 1, and so we had Shulk's
Upper
story.
Yeah.
hand.
And people were like, what the heck?
Power
Like,
into this
is
one.
this really is this what's happening after? Like, what are you guys doing? Because they made a spin-off after one game,
We're in a good
and
position.
we didn't know Xenoblade 2 or 3 were going to come out,
Stream
and so people were
Edge.
mad. But now that they've been out, people are like, oh yeah, this game is awesome, and now people are kind of changing their mind because they
Upper
know
hand.
that they have a trilogy. The story was completed. But back then, we didn't know. We didn't know if we were going to get a sequel and all. So it was kind of like people were. I mean, around line was like, really? Like, really?
This is
Is
getting
this
very
what you guys are
close.
doing? Like, this is an MMO?
Oops. Feels like that by accident.
Now, if we can just topple them with
So
this
this is
sword.
funny.
And then,
People come around when.
Jerk face.
yeah, and then like with the squads as well, you can get up to 32 players to, play together
I
and just play their
know.
own game
Right slash.
and, hunt animals and
Move in.
creatures and, monsters or beasts or
Yeah,
whatever you want to call them. The
I
indigents,
imagine
I
that's what.
suppose is the best name.
Yeah, I imagine that's what took a bit of time because I didn't think that it did have an online mode.
Upper
I
hand.
really didn't think
Yeah.
for this game they would, and
Up
like
close
it's
and
like a fully even better online mode. So I imagine that took some time because if they're good, Nintendo's good at
Sliding
making
stance.
games, they're just not good at online stuff. So it's like, hey, this works. It's good.
here
My
we go.
focus is
Melee
improving.
attack.
It's good. We like it. We want more of it.
We want more, and
Keep it
you
coming.
want to know something? It's been since we know there's multiple Microsoft teams, and we know that they haven't released. There's been three that's been out. It was like 2022. Um, I think on Tuesday we could see what they've been. We know they've been working on some big project. I think we could see. I think we could see it. Like for the Switch One.
Yeah.
I think we may what they're making. It may not be Xenoblade, and I don't think it will, but it may be. I think we're gonna. There's a high chance that we'll see what they're cooking next, and if this is what they did on Switch One, I can't imagine what they're gonna do on Switch Two.
I mean, we know. I mean, obviously, the Switch 2 is not going to be a huge advancement. It's not going to have 8K. We know that. I mean, if it has
No,
4K, I think that'll be fine. At least 4K
I think
when
I
on
think
dock mode, for example.
I think the 144 140p would be great. The power like the Series S,
Yeah.
I think that would be also great. 4K is great, but at least having an upscale would be great. Like the Series S does, you can have it upscaled. It doesn't look as native 4K, but it's still still does look good. I think they do need to go for 180p though, 1080p on portable. I think they'll do
Oh,
that.
yes.
So we'll see on Tuesday. I think we'll be all knowing, and we'll be all looking. And you can find news on my Nintendo 64, by the way, for all stuff in Nintendo
Oh,
Switch
yeah.
2.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
we'll
said to
definitely
plug
be
myself,
covering it on the
but
day. Yeah.
I can plug you guys. I can plug, so I can plug my Nintendo
Yes.
64 for all the amazing press coverage, and not the press coverage, all that stuff.
Well, if you ever find yourself wanting to writing for us again, mate, the door is always open. You know that. And obviously, it
I
may not be
know,
in the same capacity as before, because obviously, I know we've got a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of stuff going on. It's
I
hard to find the time
know,
to do things and dedicate yourself. Because I mean,
I know.
My Nintendo 64 is going to be 10 this year.
10 years old.
Wow, it's going
Wow,
to
that is
be 10.
2015. That's crazy.
2050. Yeah, it came out the same year as Xenoblade. Go figure.
Coincidence. I think it's coincidence. Like there is like no such thing as a coincidence. Coincidence? I think not.
Nuts.
I think not. Or as British people say, I think not.
Not.
Oh, even naughty. Yeah,
So
because
let's talk
yeah,
a little bit about you. Now, obviously, people already know because I've said it more than enough times that I'm an Englishman and I live in Spain. But you are
yep.
part French, part American, and live in France.
Yeah. This is why I say people say that I'm French, but I have this like weird American accent. Yeah, the reason is my dad's American, my mom's French, and I kind of alternate between both countries. But as you know, U.S. for healthcare and college is a little bit expensive, to say the least. And so yeah, I've been in France for a couple of years now, probably like since I was in high school. So probably like nearly 10 years I've been here with. I still go to the U.S. to see my family, of course, but I've been
Yes.
here for 10 years, and I love it. It's great. I go to the doctors. I just don't pay anything. My university is very cheap compared to the U.S., so it is very nice. I'm a huge fan of Europe.
Well, everyone who comes to Europe is a huge fan of Europe. Once they get into the big wide world,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I say. My
yeah.
French friends are like their grass isn't greener elsewhere, guys.
I've tried, I've looked, and to be fair, I mean, we all think the same thing when we're, in our own countries. If you've never travelled anywhere, and we're in our same
Yeah,
bubble, so like the same town or same village, you've never gone any further outside of your own town
no,
or village or whatnot, and you have a very, very close kind of, perception. But once
yeah,
you actually start travelling and going out, and then seeing how things are on the other side, and you think, well, actually, maybe I do have it good, or maybe actually, no, they do have it good.
yeah. That's what most Americans
uh,
think when they come to Europe. They're like, "Wow."
Free
They're
healthcare?
like,
What
"What do
is
you?"
this madness?
They're like, "What's your carte?" As you say, the carte vitale. Like, what's that? What's your insurance card? Like, you mean you just give it up? You mean it like pays for you? You know, and
It's
especially with people
wild.
like me who have handicaps, it's like, wow, I actually, like, I can have a job here, you know?
Well, everyone, like all good things that must come to an end, so must this podcast. So thank you again, Jmac, for joining me for this
Oh,
episode. It's been a pleasure talking to you again, bud. I know we've drifted in and out. We stay in touch in like the social media and group chats and stuff like that. But I think this is probably the first time we've actually talking in person
yeah.
for
We need to do
too
this more
long.
often. Like,
Too long.
trust too
We
long, you know,
do.
like it does. Like, you know, time flies, and you kind of. But I haven't forgotten my time about my Techno 64. You know, I know it's been a while back. Trust me, I haven't forgotten about it. I like to tell people that my press days and how much fun it was. And same for the friendships. You know, the friendships they're forever. Like I said, if
They
you
are.
guys are in France, just like, hey, listen, just like, come, just tell me. Be more than happy to show you around.
Well, I may take you up on that, mate. At some point, I do want to visit France again. I mean, I've only been to France a couple of times, and it's only really like a day thing or passing through.
Yeah,
But I would like to actually, go there and actually, visit and see something, different
see me.
kind of thing. Yeah, well, that too. It doesn't have to
All
necessarily
right.
be Paris. It can be, anywhere. But to
Anywhere
see a
is good
little
in
bit more of
France.
life. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I shall give you one more chance to plug your stuff. Where can people find you? If you've got any projects or websites or things that you'd like people to check out, the floor is yours, bud.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter. I still play Twitter at Jmac57. Aside from that, I really don't, my project wise, it's more when I'm doing my union stuff, and it's on French and from my university. But if you want, you can also find me on Instagram at Jmac57, where you can kind of see what I've been doing as trying to advocate for handicapped people, trying to help those people who have handicaps kind of get better integrated inside our universities in France and in Europe as well. And also, I'd love to plug the best website on earth, my1064.com. There's all the news for Switch 2, all the good stuff. It's all going to be on that site. Maybe I'll do an article because I am thinking about that. So you never know.
Well, like I said, doors are always open. And to everybody at home, JMac has not been paid to, promote Mike 1064.
No,
This
it's
is
all
coming from
love.
his own
I've been
bank, from
paid
his
in
own
love.
accord. Love.
It's all love. It's all love. Trust me.
Oh,
I was
we
treated
love you
very
too,
well when I was
buddy.
at the website.
Je t'aime.
We, je, te amo.
Well, until next time, everyone, keep on gaming.